Yo, what is going on, guys? Joey Sugarmuck is back here with another video, and in this video, we are here to talk about the game that wrapped up a few hours ago between the Ravens and the Browns. Classic divisional rivalry game here, guys, and for once, we came out on top and we didn't blow a lead. Hey, how about that? In fact, we went down first for a change. I don't know when the last time that happened, but the Browns took a quick 7-0 lead, yet we ended up winning in the end. So it was nice to see some progress there. It just goes back to when really Lamar Jackson first started playing for us. We had a big time issue with playing from behind. But we've corrected to that well, and we went down 7-0, but it was early, we didn't get phased, and we took care of business. Of course, a lot of issues still as well. There's still several flaws with this team, but a win is a win. This is a big win on so many levels. First off, it's a divisional game. These division games are so important, even early in the season. We're now 2-0 in the division. We've beaten Cincinnati and Cleveland, so we've had our big-time struggles outside of the division, but in the division, we're winning the games, and that is huge because remember, no matter how bad your record is, if you win the division, you get into the playoffs automatically, and the worst you can be is a 4 seed. So really, really good that we are getting these divisional wins. And we needed this one badly, and we got it. That's why I picked us to win, man. Must-win games. We often pull these out. Not always, but a lot of times when we are desperate and in a must-win situation, we find a way to win. And that's exactly what we did. The past several weeks, we've been finding a way to lose. Vice versa today. So, of course, I'm sure you guys can tell by the jersey that I'm wearing, I had to bring it back out, man, because I know last night I wasn't totally sure if Gus Edwards was going to play, but I was assuming he was. Then this morning, when I found out that he was making his debut, I had to crank out the jersey, man. Gus Edwards, his first game back, and he made his presence felt. I gotta say, I am really surprised at how much he fed him. He got like 15 or 16 carries, man. I was surprised because, we really eased Dobbins in. We didn't give him much action. And then I know the last game we didn't give him much, but that was unfortunately because he was not feeling well physically. But at the same time, man, this is Edwards' first game back, and he got a pretty regular workload. We did rotate him a decent amount with Justice Hill and Kenyon Drake, but Edwards got much more of a workload than I thought he would. I kind of thought he would get 5, 6 carries, maybe a bit more than that, but he got 16, and he was, I think it was 16, he was also the main running back. He came out there on first down. He was generally our main running back, so I was pretty surprised with his first game back, and then, of course, my biggest priority, every time he got the ball, I was always like, please get back up. No matter what you do, get back up. And he did. He got out of the game healthy. No issues as far as I know. So that's great to see. And I got to be honest, I was surprised with how a lot of our questionable guys played because I kind of thought that we were going to hold some out because, with the short week on Thursday, you kind of have to plan ahead for that. And, if guys are kind of banged up, they get more banged up in the game, and it's a very quick turnaround on Thursday, especially for the team on the road, and that's us this week. So I was a little bit surprised, but pretty much all of our questionable guys, Morgan Moses, Justin Houston, Rashad Bateman, they all played, and they all made it out of the game healthy, except Moses was, of course, battling that heel injury that he suffered last week. He played right tackle for the vast majority of the game, but then McCary came in and played right tackle. There was no injury designation on Moses, so I think he was fine. Maybe he felt a little bit banged up or something, but we'll find out more this week. But there was no report after the game, so I think that if Moses was truly hurt, we would have known by now. But we'll find out soon enough, and I've been surprised before. And the good thing is, I think we made it out of the game healthy, as far as I know. Again, Moses might have gotten a bit banged up. I know Josh Bynes got a bit banged up. He had to get helped off the field once, but I think he came back in the game. His injury did not look serious, at least. So I think we made it out of the game healthy. And what's really encouraging, at least for me, and I don't know, I'm kind of surprised. A lot of the fans, for the Ravens are still like, oh God, whatever, sloppy win. It was a sloppy win, sure, but a win is a win. And hey, it's not like the Browns totally deserved to win that game. They had several flaws as well. All right, so I know we got away with some stuff, but still. I know, you guys know I'm very fixated on this, but I was just so happy to see Gus Edwards back, man. It was so great to see him running again. And I tell you, I know he's coming back from a big injury, but he did not look less explosive to me at all today. In fact, if anything, he looked a little bit slimmed down, even quicker than he was back in 2020 when he was healthy. He looked great today. He averaged I think he had 16 carries for 66 yards or so and 2 touchdowns. He scored both of our touchdowns today. One of them was on 4th down, and hey, another gutsy call by John Harbaugh, 4th and goal from the 1. We go for it, and Edwards powers it in, man. That was very encouraging to see because we have struggled mightily this year in short yardage situations, especially 4th and short, and we got it done this time with Edwards jumping over and breaking the plan. So that was great to see. And then Edwards got our first touchdown of the game from the 8, running it right in. So it was really, really nice to see. Edwards looked great to me, and I cannot wait to see what else he has in store, man. I'm telling you, Edwards is our guy. I love Dobbins. He's very, very good, but we need to be really cautious with him with his injury. We need to be cautious with Edwards as well, but I think Gus Edwards is set to break out, and he had a really good game today. All right, so that's great. Defensively, a very up and down day. Very rough start. The Browns marched right down the field in the first drive, got a touchdown. Then the Browns got a big play on their second drive with Amari Cooper, but then we held strong. We kept him out of the end zone. Then our defense played really, really well for several straight drives, and they didn't do anything. Then we started to fold a little bit. We let up a field goal in the second half, and then they got they got a touchdown after we had gotten a field goal. So it was 23-13. Then the Browns went down and scored to make it 23-20. And then, the funny thing was, it's like clockwork, and it's like we're waking up to the same game. The result was different, thankfully. But, we were going into the fourth quarter with a 10-point lead, I think. But regardless, we had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. It was 23-13 us at one point. And I was like, yay, we're up 2 possessions. But we all have seen this so much this year. And for whatever reason, when we have leads in the fourth quarter, we just cannot hold them. So despite us being up 10 in the fourth quarter, I was like, I wasn't happy because I knew this had happened so much, and every single time we had fallen short and we had choked it. So I was really, really worried about it, but this time we held on. But man, did we try to blow it away. We really, really tried. Of course, the defense folds on one drive. The Browns, that drive was just pathetic. I mean, and that's why I'm giving the defense, I'm going to give us a B. I mean, 20 points in total isn't bad that we let up, but there were some issues. I think in the second half especially, that one drive that made it 23-20 just infuriated me. It was just so bad all around. First off, the Browns got 5 straight 10-yard plays. 5 straight first downs, I should say. Running, throwing. The tackling was non-existent on that drive. We figured that, if we just tap Chubb or just pat him on the back, that'll get him down, apparently. It was so frustrating, bro. They ran it with Chubb a lot, and I actually think for the most part of the game we did well on Chubb, but then we really, really struggled in the end there on that, especially on that last drive. Chubb got most of his yardage on that last drive. And the tackling was atrocious. We were missing tackles left and right. And it was pretty bad. It was really, really frustrating. The Browns, that was way too easy for them to go up 23-20. So then, or actually not to go up, to make it 23-20. We were still up 3. But then it was time for the offense, right? I think the Browns scored and there was maybe 7 minutes left or so plenty of time. But then the offense, man, that was looking like maybe our best drive all season. We were, again, playing ball control football. We got several short yardage gains. We converted, I think, 2 third and shorts, which again, we have struggled with this year. These short yardage situations have been a problem this year, but this game, and especially on that drive, we were doing it really, really well. And then we ended up getting it. We were choking the clock. Again, we weren't turning the ball over, and we got it down to the Browns 30. But then everything went to hell, and Justice Hill decided to fumble. So, first off, the extreme overreactions will be, oh, cut Hill, he sucks. Hindsight, it's 2020, of course, so if we had lost that game, I would have probably been feeling a little bit differently, because, again, we were taking control, we were in field goal range, we were driving down the field. Hill had a solid run. He was, going up the field. He would have gotten, 6 or 7 yards, but then I think it was Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah who knocked it out. There was a hold called, I think, but it didn't really matter. But regardless, it's just the turnovers, man. We can't turn the ball over. And we got away with it, though. And this was the time where we finally caught a break. I kind of feel like we had gotten unlucky because we had not been getting away with, any mistakes, man. any mistake that we made, it seems like it always came back to bite us. This time we were able to get away with it. But it still can't happen, man. And I like Justice Hill. I actually think he's having easily his best year. He's having his biggest role in the offense, partially because, Edwards wasn't ready to start the season and Dobbins was on a limited role. But still, I am really happy with Justice Hill. But you got to protect the ball. And he also, it's one thing to fumble in the first or second quarter, and then later on you can play the what if game. He fumbled at the worst possible time, man. We were driving right down the field. We had a 3-point lead, few minutes left. We just needed we probably needed one more touchdown to ice it, and Hill fumbled. It was just really, really bad timing. But then I got to give the credit to the defense. They stood up. Now, not at first. Third down, I think we got him into a third down right away, and then Marcus Peters decided to get absolutely smoked, but I think it was Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Brissett found him downfield. That put the Browns at our 40-yard line. But then, as I said, our defense really, really held strong. I think we made a nice play against the run on first down, and then I think it was an incompletion on second down, and then third down. Was it third down we got a sack? I don't know. And then I think there was a hold maybe called, and then it was third and long, and Brissett threw another one-on-one pass against Marcus Peters. This time it was to Amari Cooper, and it was caught by Cooper, but they called it back for offensive pass interference. Definitely offensive pass interference. He clearly was a push off by Cooper. And then I think earlier, maybe it was in that drive, it was the third down, and Brissett looked one-on-one. He tested Peters a lot today, now that I'm thinking about it. It was a one-on-one. It was incomplete, but Peters was called for pass interference. It was, borderline. It was not an absurd call, though. You definitely could see that Peters was kind of tugging and kind of restricting him from getting the ball. I understand they're coached a certain way, but it really is puzzling to me on why corners, when they're going one-on-one, they never turn around. I understand, they're coached not to, because when you turn around, it does slow you down, and it gives the receivers a chance to get a step. But when the ball is in the air and you have reaction time, you gotta turn around, man. That play where Amari Cooper got a touchdown. Now I think about it, it was a third down. Brissett threw it up one-on-one, and it was a touchdown for Cooper. But again, they called it back because of offensive pass interference. If Peters turned around, he probably would have picked it, especially with Marcus Peters, because he's a ball hawk. If you turn around, he probably would have picked it off. I don't understand. I know it's the way they're coached, but you gotta draw the line at some point. And there were several times in this game, and just in general, where if you turn around, you can make a play on the ball. Why are you just not turning and just throwing your hands up? I know you can get in the way of the ball, and oftentimes that happens, but if I'm a corner, I am turning around and trying to make a play on the ball. I don't understand why we never do that. So Peters had a little bit of a tough day today. He got cooked a couple times, but he did come up big when it counted, and of course he drew that offensive pass interference call. And then this is where the decision making got really, really interesting. So it was a third and long late, and then also another guy to shout out today, Justin Houston played a really good game today. He had 2 sacks. One of them was when Brissett was running up the field, and he got tackled down for a loss of 1, but hey, a sack was a sack. And then Houston, I think it was on that next play, back-to-back plays, Houston got a strip sack on Brissett, and they recovered the fumble, but that was a great play by Houston. Houston, man, first game back after the groin injury, he made his presence felt. He was causing problems all over the field today. I don't know, Houston actually seems to have more juice this year than he did last year. Last year, he was kind of quiet. This year, he really has been playing really well. He's been our best pass rusher this year. And he also, he's a year older, but it doesn't seem to matter. Maybe part of it is just he clicks better with Mike Macdonald's scheme. So that was great to see. And I actually was pretty impressed with the pass rush today. That's a really good offensive line that we went up against. I know they were banged up. No Wyatt Teller, of course. But, they still had Wills, Petonio, and Conklin. And I thought, in general, our pass rush was pretty good. We got 5 or 6 sacks, so that's good. And we got a lot of hurries. So Houston got 2 sacks. Campbell also another strip sack. This was in the third quarter, I think. Strip sack from Campbell. Oweh recovered it, so he recovered it that time. Big play there. So a lot of good stuff here, guys. I was really, really happy with the pass rush game. And The run defense struggled, of course. I was expecting that. Okay, it is Nick Chubb. Hunt did pretty much nothing. It was Chubb who led the charge. We didn't let him take over the game, and I think again a lot of his yardage came on that one drive. Besides that, I actually think we held him in check. But it's still not an excuse. Our run defense does need to be better. But I was really happy with how our defense, the Browns got it inside our 50 or in our territory, I should say, and we held strong. It was a 3rd and long. Houston was so close to getting his 3rd sack of the game. He was there, but no, we have to miss on another sack. Again, the pass rush was good today. I'm not going to be too picky, but the amount of sacks we whiff on, it drives me crazy, man. Seeing quarterbacks spin out of trouble and seeing us miss sacks, it's so frustrating. Houston had him, man, but he just couldn't hold on after the spin move. But anyways, it was a nice hustle by Oweh to get Brissett after he was rolling out. And then it was 4th down, and then controversy. They were going for a long field goal. Then there was a false start called, and there's a ton of disputes going on about who jumped first and the rules because it was on a field goal attempt. And then the Browns, they decided to go for a 61-yard field goal. I'm not sure if I agree with that decision. I probably would have gone for it. But it was blocked. Malik Harrison came up big. Even if it wasn't blocked, I don't think it was going in. It didn't look close regardless. But that was huge. And then our offense, all we needed was 1 first down. We couldn't do it, but the Browns only had like 1 timeout left, so we let the clock run out. And then our defense took care of business when they had like 16 seconds left. So that's all good. So again, a mixed bag today, guys. I thought Lamar Jackson played pretty well today. No, his stats were not impressive by any means. He didn't make any big splash plays, but he did his job. He took care of the ball. No turnovers from him today, which is really, really encouraging to see because that has been his biggest flaw as of late. He's been turning the ball over too much. But he did not do that this time. I thought he did really, really well at that. He got some nice runs. Some of his throws were nice as well. And, there's a lot of talk. Mark Andrews, who has been, of course, just such a workhorse for us, no catches today and only like a couple targets. The Browns definitely did a nice job of taking him out of the equation. But I also think it's good for us because it forces us to use our other options. We can't always rely on Andrews, so it was nice to see our other guys get involved. Our offense obviously wasn't great, but I thought only 1 turnover because of that stupid Hill fumble. And in general, we took care of business. We were better in the red zone. It still needs work, but we scored a couple touchdowns. We were better in short yardage situations. So I think a lot of good stuff today, and that was what contributed to the win. Obviously, things we have to clean up. And then, of course, there's the short week, which always causes problems. There's injury issues, and we are on the road, and we're playing against Tom Brady. Now, of course, when I first saw this game on the schedule, I thought, oh, God, we may get smoked. The Bucs are in a huge slump right now, though. They've lost, I think, 2, maybe even 3 in a row. They have not been playing well at all. So now is a good time to play the Buccaneers, but at the same time, playing against a pissed-off Tom Brady is not exactly what I had in mind. But we'll see what happens, man. It's a Thursday night game, so I won't be able to do an analysis of this game, but I will have a recap of it. I won't be able to do a prediction of it, I should say. But I'll tweet out my regular game pick on Twitter on Thursday evening, and I will see you guys probably that following Saturday or so with a recap of the game. I have a lot of stuff going on those days after, but I'll make it work. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys next weekend with a recap on the Ravens game and game picks for the rest of the week. Go Ravens, and let's start rolling.